let's start with David Ahrens joining me on set. You have a company. You're the founder and president of Heroes Strategies. Right. You have 2,000 clients. You help them with their retirement strategies, and you also have a radio show.
I do.
So welcome to the show.
And my wife and I do it together.
Very nice. How is that going for you?
It's awesome. I mean, we just, we have a lot of fun with it, and we're helping a lot of people, so it's great.
Your recommendation, your retirement solution for people out there is something called RAFT, R-A-F-T. Right. Each letter stands for something. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. It's a strategy, basically a tax-free strategy. RAFT is an acronym. It stands for Retirement Approach Free of Tax. So we're, rather than being a proponent of putting your money in an IRA or a 401k, we say, hey, you know what, there's something out there that's different and maybe better than what you're doing right now.
And it's RAFT. Okay. So it's an equity indexed contract with a life insurance company?
Exactly.
I consulted my notes. If you could explain that to the average person out there.
Sure. I mean, most people think of life insurance policies as death benefits,
yep.
but you can design them for living benefits as well. And so we take an equity index universal life insurance contract.
Okay.
We design it for a living benefit, meaning we're wanting to keep the expenses low internally in the policy, build cash value, and then access that money during your lifetime as income to supplement other sources of income that you might have during retirement. The difference being that this is going to be tax-free.
Okay.
Yeah.
And taxes are going up.
No question about that. And we see that this really is kind of, I think, the best-kept secret that the IRS doesn't want us to know about.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, it's been around for decades, and really...
And I'm just hearing about it now.
Okay, well, life insurance has been around for a long time.
Yes.
But the difference that we do is okay, good. We design it differently. We design it, again, for a living benefit.
Okay.
So it's not like this big death benefit adventure that you're going to leave some big legacy to your family. Our clients want our policies to be designed so that they can access that money as an income stream during their lifetime. What I love about this is you can fund it so many ways, and you can really design it based on the budget of the client. When we meet with clients, we sit down with them, we say, hey, how do you want to fund it? Or, over what period of time do you want to fund it? We can fund it monthly. We can take money out of harm's way and fund it very, very quickly if you have money in a risk position right now. All clients really, when you look at their financial situation, you should be saying, hey, here's the money that you want to maybe risk, and what about the money that you don't want to risk? Well, we're focused more on the money that you don't want to risk. And that's the beauty of the life insurance policy. It's safe, it's liquid, and it gives you a tax-free rate of return.
What is the rate of return on average?
The average rate of return has been approximately 8%. Now, you look at it
most
over...
Most people say 6 is good, and you
well,
can do 8.
I often get that question. People say, well, what's a good rate of return?
Right.
And I typically would say, well, 6 or 7 or 8% is good. But then again, 6, 7, or 8% tax-free, now that's great, right? So we're looking at what we think is a great rate of return. And of course, not every year do you get the 8%. Some years you're going to do as low as 0. And the beauty about this strategy is that it never, ever goes negative. So you can get the upside potential of the markets, but be insulated on the downside.
Right.
The average rate of return, 8%, tax-free.
And you said you had 2,000 clients.
We do.
Do you know how many are using RAFT strategy?
About 2,000 of them.
All of them? Okay.
Now, well, we have some clients that just use...
that's what you specialize in.
We are really focused on safe investing. So we're not showing people stocks and bonds and mutual funds. We say, hey, if you want to risk your money, we're not the people to talk to. If you want to, we're looking at what we call critical cash, money that you need for your family, that you need to support your lifestyle down the road. And everybody knows that, hey, when we take money out of our IRAs and 401ks, that's the day we experience the biggest loss, really, because Uncle Sam's sitting there saying, hey, I've been waiting a long time, give me my cut. With this strategy,
what is the cut right now when you take money out?
It really depends on your tax bracket.
Okay.
That's the other thing, Lauren, is that we've sort of been sold a bill of goods on IRAs and 401ks, thinking that we're going to be in a lower tax bracket when we retire.
But you don't want to be in a low tax bracket
when you retire. Well, my wife says we should be in a higher tax bracket when we retire. That's fine with me. I will strive for that. But, most people are shocked because they may be making less money, but what do? They sort of followed the crowd, paid down their mortgage, so they eliminate that one. The kids grow up, right? And that tax deduction goes away. And now you're not funding an IRA or a 401k any longer, so that deduction's gone as well. You can be making less money, yet paying more tax. And we all know where taxes are headed in this country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of depressing.
So think about that. Yeah. So you gotta, you really want to, we look at this as a leg to a stool, if you will. When you retire, you want multiple sources of income coming in. Perhaps you're going to have Social Security. Maybe you're lucky enough to have a pension. pension. If you funded an IRA or 401k, then you're going to be having that income come in. Those are all taxables. And now we want a tax-free leg to that stool coming in from the RAF strategy.
How many legs should your stool have?
I would tell you as many as possible, but typically you at least want 4. 4 will provide a good steady frame for you.
Okay.
And so this is one of the 4. It's not for all of your money, but it's for some of your money.
I know it's different for every person, but what percentage would you suggest people set aside for an average working person?
It really depends on as you said, the individual. We have clients that fund this with hundreds of dollars a month. We have clients that fund it with hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Okay. That's the beauty of it. It can be designed for anyone.
But the type of person is someone who says, I want to make sure I have this money and it's safe and I'm not playing poker with my retirement.
They're really looking to diversify their income.
Right.
And when I say diversify, most people think, well, diversification, you invest in different sectors or whatever, but you can lose money when you diversify. And we found that out in 2008, right? So with this strategy, you put your money in, it's never going to be negative due to negative index returns. It's linked to the performance of the S&P or the Dow or the NASDAQ with the upside up to a cap. Okay, so there's a limiter, if you will, on the upside.
What's the limit to the upside?
It depends on the index. Anywhere from 12 to 16% is the upside limitation.
So this year, the S&P is up like 25%.
So you'd get the top. You'd be at the top of the scale. You wouldn't get the full impact of it, but you get
like 16.
the majority of it. And then, but on the negative years, right, when you have minus 10, minus 20, we all remember those years. 5 out of the last 12 were negative. So on those negative years, you're not going to participate in the downside. Yeah. And Warren Buffett said it best. I mean, the way to make money is not to lose, buddy, right?
Right, and you can have a good night's sleep
there
every
you go,
night.
And that's all about that.
A little bit of your pot of gold is safe. Dave, thank you so much. We have a retirement expert on at least once a week, and they're getting better and better each time. I think you just took the cake.
Well, thank you.
Great to have you.
Appreciate it.